Okay, so today I want to show you a trick. For this trick, you're going to need like 3 rubber bands, 2 green one and 1 yellow one. It's very important there are 2 greens and 1 yellow. Now the yellow one has to be wrapped on the rubber bands on top, just like this, and the other 2 you hold in your hands. And then when you shake, you will see how the yellow rubber band just jumps to the bottom, which is weird. If you flick it, it just kind of gets to the middle, which will make it even more impossible. And then if you just snap like this, it will just jump back up, which I believe it's a weird thing to see and do. All right, welcome back to Magic Isn't Real. Today I feel kind of casual. As you can see, today I'm kind of casual, and this is going to be a different video from my usual one because it's a video where I'm just going to tell you a kind of like a personal story. And the reason why I'm doing this is because hopefully it will teach a lesson. Hopefully this is the best case scenario. The kind of worst case scenario is that you guys are going to be mad that this video is not the usual, trying to replicate the claims of the supernatural with my natural skills, or try to talk about the supernatural, try to talk about telekinesis. This is going to be more of a video where I just want this story to be out there because I'm hoping that some of you might learn a lesson that I have learned recently. And the worst part about this is that, listen, I am pretty much perfect. I never make any mistakes. I never regret anything that I do. As if. Can you imagine if someone was that confident in their skills? Like, I mean, I know people that are like that. They never accept failure. They're always like, so they're confident. Like, confidence is a good thing to have, but some people it's just like too much. Like, they just refuse to accept that they have failed. Well, I think like sometimes it's important to acknowledge something that you were trying just didn't work. It's important to acknowledge failure in order to learn a lesson and move forward. But anyway, I don't want to sound too like a like a motivational speaker or anything. Like, I just want to tell you this because I just only recently realized that I wasn't fair towards art, towards like any art form, which is insane because I kind of have been an artist for pretty much most of my life. I actually, funny enough, don't like the label artist, but I also understand that there is no other label to which I can identify as. Recently, I really realized that I've been making the same mistake for years and years and years and never even realized that it's a big mistake that actually hurts the art in general, any sorts of art form. So I decided that since I finally have reached this conclusion, it's important for me to share this story to you so that hopefully it might help you. In order for me to truly make you understand what clicked in my brain and why do I think that this is an important topic and why it took me so long to realize that what I was doing with my art form, whatever it was at the time, whatever it is right now, whatever it was back then, what was I doing was incredibly wrong, not just for myself, but for any other artist around me, whether they are friends of mine or just any artist in general, like from you watching to whoever wants to be a performer nowadays. And in order for me to make you understand what's going on, we have to go back to 2006. Yes, I know, right? In internet time, that's like going back to the dinosaur age. In 2006, I was part of a band. I wanted to be a musician. I was part of a band. We were going around like, playing stuff. And listen, we were not the best band ever. We were not that great, but we had the confidence. We were young one and we had this confidence of thinking that we are the greatest band ever. Everybody should listen to us and whatever. So another thing that we wanted is that, yes, we had this confidence that we are the best band ever, but we would do anything to perform. We would say yes to whoever, as long as we get to perform. There was also another little detail like that we didn't want to play cover songs, okay? We wanted to play our own songs, which in my mind was something perfect because we would basically offer to play for free at a venue as long as we get to play our songs and our own thing. And this deal always seems to kind of work like nicely because I was like, hey, no, you know what? Nobody's paying us, so nobody can complain that we're not playing cover songs. And we get to perform our own personal art, which for me was a great flipping thing. For some reason, when I was young, I always thought that I would be an artist and I would perform my art and then money would just appear in my wallet. I somehow didn't make the connection that like, no, you have to make that transaction happen. You have to make a deal. Sure, you could hire an agent, But still, someone has to make this deal for you. You can't just be an artist and perform art and then magically money will come to you. But honestly, I have never made, and as of today, I also still struggle with that, and I'll talk about it towards the end of the video, but like, I never really made the connection art and money. For me, art was my personal thing. It was my personal thing that was coming from inside me that I wanted to share to the world. I didn't care if I was getting paid or not. It was not about the money. It was about performing. I think I might be like a part of a 1% of artists who think like that, because the rest of my band started to get really annoyed by the fact that we were performing a lot and not getting paid ever. At some point, we even won an award for like best original song and whatnot, still performing in like clubs and bars without getting paid. So eventually we ended up like start making covers. We had to make like specific covers so that we could get hired to perform in certain place and actually getting paid. And this is when I kind of saw, for me, for my personal experience, the downfall of my own art form. This is when I was starting to think like, oh, like, I don't want to say sell out, because it's not sell out. Like, you gotta make this money somehow. I don't know why I wasn't making this connection, but I just started noticing. I'm gonna give you one example. We once performed for a wedding. My God, I hated that experience. I hated it so much. Not only we were not allowed to do any of our original song, which makes sense. It's a wedding. It's not about you. It's a wedding. It's definitely not about you. You're basically background noise. But we had a bunch of songs that we had to learn really quickly, which I hated. I hated learning them. I hated memorizing them, to the point that I even messed up a few of them during the wedding, which prompted the guy from, the guy who hired us, he basically didn't want to fully pay us because some songs didn't come out as great, which was not a fun conversation with the rest of the band. But hey, that's probably why the band ultimately didn't move forward. No, there were a bunch of other reasons why the band didn't move forward. It was not just the whole cover thing. And honestly, I blame that not so much of me wanting to be an artist, but most so much about me being kind of lazy. I could have just simply learned those songs and played them. Anyway, long story short, that experience plus a couple other experience that I had, which included performing for another venue at some point with a different band, where we learned a bunch of cover. We performed like we did stellar performance. See, at the time I learned my lessons and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be good at this. So I put effort. I learned this like cover songs. We performed we did such a great job. And the guy who hired us for the venue at the end of the night was trying to pull some sort of move to pay us less or not pay us at all. And keep in mind, this time we did a fantastic job. He had zero respect for basically the art form. I had 2 to 3 more experience kind of like this, which were heavily money involved. When there's money involved, you do lose a little bit your ability, your freedom to be an artist, which is fine because you're trying to make money. But anyway, that planted in my head, the money is ruining my art form. I started thinking, okay, if I want to truly be an artist, I cannot care about the money. So I started to figure out a way where I can make money somewhere else, so that then when I perform my art, I don't have any restriction and I can do whatever I want. And listen, on the page, that's a great flipping thing. In real life, as of today, that's a very stupid thing. It's a very stupid mentality, because I started performing for pretty much nothing. Everywhere I could get a chance to perform, I would take it, without realizing that I'm still offering a service. My skill set got higher and higher and higher. Whether or not I'm playing a cover song, or whether or not I'm doing a magic show, or I'm doing a stand-up and whatever, whether or not I'm doing my own stuff or I'm doing something that maybe I haven't created, it doesn't matter. I'm still providing a service. And yes, it is true. It is true that if you're doing the service for free, you shouldn't take shit from anybody, which is honestly liberating. If you're doing anything for free, any source of job for free, don't take shit from anybody. Now, let's talk about the biggest issue though. It sounds so nice. Oh, I get to perform my own personal thing. Nobody can tell me shit because I'm doing this for free. Well, no. And that was my mistake for many years. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that every performance I did was for free. Like, obviously, at some point, I got to the point where I'm like, listen, you gotta pay me, because I am offering a service and I have a very particular set of skills that at this point are really good. So I should get paid. every time. It doesn't matter if I want the freedom or not the freedom. At this point, it is a skill set. It is a service that you're providing, whether it's your own personal thing or whether you have adapted it to the particular venue that hired you. You should get paid either way. And listen, there is truth into the fact that money ruins art. I mean, look at all these movies that came out of Hollywood recently. They suck. Why do they suck? Because they're trying to make money. How are they trying to make money? By leaving the artists being who they want to be? By letting the writers write the story they want to write? No, they're trying to make money by pandering to the audience. They're more focused in trying to make sure that this particular piece of content is going to make money by simply reaching out the right audience, not offending that people. Do not offend this people. Like, let's change. And then what happened? The art sucks because they're focusing on money more than focusing on the art. But at the same time, we do not live in a world where artists just get paid. I don't know. I don't even know what could be this world where basically you get to be an artist and money just like, and the government pays you to be an artist. I don't know. I'm just coming up now with like solutions that are obviously not valuable and obviously they never happen. Like, being an artist at this point, it's a job and you should get paid for it. And even if it's not your job, if you figure out another way to like get revenue, to get income so that you can be free to perform, you should still get paid, because if you don't, it's going to make it so much worse for the art form. There's something like even worse that not having freedom as an artist. And that thing that's even worse is that not being respected. Because in my brain, I thought, I don't want to get paid because money would put shackles on me. If someone pays me, then they have the right to change what it is that I want to do. The problem is that we live in a society that do care about money. And somehow there's this connection. If you don't demand to be paid, if you don't want the money, then somehow you gonna be disrespected. And if you're not getting respected, that's when the art it's really going to die. So after all these years, what is it that clicked into my brain to finally make me realize that in order to protect the art, in order to make sure that the art gets respected, you need to demand payment, because otherwise it doesn't become a thing where you get to shine, not shine, share. You can shine also, you should. It's not anymore a place where you get to share your passion to the world. It becomes a place where someone is taking advantage of you. And in this situation, it was this particular job where they wanted me to basically perform 4 hours for a payment that honestly, it wouldn't even cover like a 15 minutes, 20 minutes performance, if I have to be honest. That's the first time where in the middle, like technically I already said yes to this job. And yet I was doing the math in my head. I was talking also to friends of mine who actually are, professional artists, like professional performers and whatever. And they were getting mad at me. They were justified to be mad at me for taking a job, not even like, because I was going to do it for free, but like even for a low payment, because then it lowers down for everybody else. So at that point, I had to call that company and be like, listen, I won't do this. You will not get me. I will not show up unless you pay me the right amount of money for this, which could be easily calculated because there is an industry standard for this type of stuff. They got really, really mad, but after that, this thing clicked into my brain and I realized, oh my God, I've been doing this for years. For years, I've been so preoccupied of just having the freedom of being an artist, the freedom to perform whatever the fuck I want, that I didn't realize that I was doing a disservice to myself and to the art itself. Listen, I understand that those of you who have been maybe performing for many years, you guys are probably looking at me like, duh, you're so stupid. And I understand it. I totally understand it. But I was thinking also, maybe there's some of you who are just starting into this business, or you want to get into performances and you want to perform some more. And hopefully this will showcase you how even if you're a beginner, even if you're starting, there has to be a monetary value of what it is that you're offering. That even if you're a first timer or amateur, or you don't do this often, you're still providing a service. If they called you and they got you to that place, it's because they needed you to be there. You're doing a favor to them. They're not doing a favor to you. They are the one who need the entertainment. And we as humanity and whatever, we need entertainment. So remember, you have leverage. Don't make the mistake that I made. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this weird rant. This is something that I just wanted to just put out because it was burning inside me. If you're still here, I'll thank you so much. The next video will probably be one of the normal ones. So please like hit the subscribe button and share and click the bell, you know, the whole thing. Also, speaking of artists, like today I decided to be kind of casual and I wanted to show you this. So this t-shirt, a friend of mine, he makes this. It's his own brand, speaking of art form, because I also want to start promoting my friends and like promoting art form. Like this isn't a sponsored video. He's not paying me to say this, but like he is the guy who made the logo for my channel, which I truly love. And maybe one day I'm gonna start making t-shirts with this logo. But anyway, his link, it's on my in the description down here in the description of the video. So please go check him out, show him some love, follow his Instagram. If you can't, maybe buy some of his shirts. They're all flipping cool. So I just wanted to do that at the end of this video. And thank you so much for being here. I shall see you next time.